introduction, want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services, including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on, we thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Nerd Sports, episode 122, we're going to talk about wheelchair boxing. Yeah.
Or I like to call it mobile rock'em sock'em robots.
I was about to say that, man. You stole my thunder.
You're welcome.
I was literally going to say that. I had it in my mind. I was like looking over the stuff about all of new sports news stuff that we have to go over. And I was like, what am I going to? Oh, yeah, rock'em sock'em. Okay.
So
yeah.
what you're trying to tell me is that the top-ranked wheelchair boxer is going to be Logan Paul's next opponent?
That would be hilarious. That would be so hilarious.
Because he doesn't ever face off against actual boxers. It's all like washed up, retired MMA fighters.
And then he forces them to box, which they're not known as strikers.
Some of them are.
Like he'll fight, not the guys he fights. He's not going to fight somebody that can actually box.
Was it Mayfield? He went up against Mayfield, didn't he?
That no,
Come on.
he didn't go up against Mayfield.
No,
Well,
or Mayweather. He didn't go up against Mayweather. If I remember right, there was like some kind of like rumor that he was going to he was going to try to fight Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
And like
in a straight up fair fight.
It wouldn't be a fair fight.
Fair fight.
I mean, fair as in weight class, and they're doing rounds, and there's going to be an official, and there's going to be an undertaker. That would have been a fair fight.
Dude, Tyson wouldn't even need a full round for him.
Tyson wouldn't even need.
No, and you're not going to be able to pay Tyson off. I don't care how much money you fucking offer him. You're not.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
it's a situation, and we may or may not have Colin tonight. So, but I'm conversing with him right now, but he may or may not be available. Which if when we're left to our own devices, that it goes downhill
quickly. This is gonna be one for the ages.
It gets so spicy.
I mean, you've seen the video where the guy Tyson's teaching that one kid, and
he's scared. No, yeah, he scared the guy with the pads.
Yeah,
he was like, no.
entire life flashed in front of his eyes as soon as he squared up. He's like,
I'm not about that life, bro.
No.
Just let me walk out of here. That's all I ask.
This is basically what happened.
He's like,
Nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong.
So quickly.
That was I mean, that's anybody that's like, oh, we're having fun, we're having fun. I have pooped. I'm not even going, I'm just putting my dukes up. Yeah.
This is why, Carl, that we have to have safety briefings every weekend.
or
Safety briefing. This is how you get a safety briefing.
Right.
I mean, look at
Steve.
Steve-O.
Phrasing, is phrasing still a thing?
I mean, look at Steve-O. All he did was run into his fist,
Mm-hmm.
and he got fucking a concussion.
What's the name of a
He
punch?
didn't even use any power. He basically, I was like, yeah, I'll just put my hand out there if you want to. I mean, I'm not gonna, give you the full. Okay, there we go. He's knocked out.
I mean, he was already kind of soft in the head, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love nothing more than to see Logan Paul get absolutely knocked on his ass.
Yes.
And I didn't catch all of it, but Dana White put out a TikTok this weekend. Apparently, he's put out the offer several times to Logan Paul or Jake Paul, and neither one of them have responded.
No, hell no. Because
He's
neither
like,
of them they're not going to fight an MMA fighter because they
Step in
know
the
they're going to lose.
Step in the octagon.
Yeah.
I mean,
They know they're going to lose.
your professional boxing record still going to be intact. This is an MMA record.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just-
I personally, I think that he's afraid to get in there without any padding, other than the like 3-ounce gloves that they throw.
yeah.
Oh,
He knows. Because
I mean,
whenever he's going to fight, the first thing they're going to do is take it to the ground.
oh yeah.
And they're worthless on the ground. They don't know what they're doing, and they're going to be made to look a fool.
Yeah, you're going to get the cowboy to come out of retirement. And the first thing he's going to do is launch across the ring with a flying Superman punch.
Dude,
it was a Cowboy Cerrone.
Oh, I would sell everything I have to be able to afford a ticket to go watch that. I would absolutely be
Right.
Are you kidding me?
I would personally write Dana White an email, care of this show, asking for a for press passes, just so that way the common man, the amateur podcaster can get their take on it.
Oh yes.
Can you imagine Dana White? He's like, all right, I will fly you guys out here, but you're gonna have to go to this airport, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Like, you two are better getting your ass in a car.
Okay.
Because out by Hobby Airport, out down here in Houston, there's they got a bunch of charter services out there, right? Including one that a bunch of NBA players fly out of. And I'm not kidding you. It's called Million Air.
Oh,
awesome.
And I'm like, wow. And
That's how I would name.
Then they've got some of them like good planes, like the I mean, all the planes are expensive, but we're talking like top tier planes. And they keep them in a hangar. And I'm like, whew.
Oh yeah.
We went to go pick my daughter up from Hobby Airport months ago. Dude, we were behind a McLaren, and a McLaren pulled in.
Like onto the airstrip?
Yeah.
Oh. Just once in my life.
Right. I'm just sitting there going,
pull right up to the plane, just get out, like the whole, Tony Stark thing in Iron Man. Like I just one time in my life, that would be amazing.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Go right from the car straight onto the airplane and just tell the pilot as you're walking up the steps, be like, all right, let's go.
Okay, so Buc-ee's is going to get an unofficial plug here. My
Oh,
wife just walked in because she.
love
we-
me some Lucy's.
I didn't properly communicate that we were out of eggs. That's on me.
Is there
So
a
she
ship
normally
problem?
would go to HEB to get the eggs, right? Well,
Uh-huh.
she goes to Buc-ee's because we're home of the original Buc-ee's, like the world's headquarters for Buc-ee's. Like Mr. Buc-ee lives in Lake Jackson.
Yeah.
She goes over here. Not only are the eggs that they sell at the Buc-ee's stations all over the place are from local farmers, they're $1.27 a dozen.
Damn.
$1.22 a dozen.
Damn.
Right?
For those ladies and gentlemen that don't live in Texas that are listening to us, Buc-ee's is
It's the Taj
Greatest-
Mahal of gas stations.
yes.
Okay, it's like the Taj
Picture
Mahal.
every like Wawa's and Tim Hortons, every best gas station that you've ever been to anywhere in your travel.
Anywhere that you've ever traveled, whether it be Little America, Wawa's, Tim Horton, whatever. Then you throw in the cleanest bathrooms in the industry,
Anywhere.
and
Not
you put it
just
in the
this-
building.
This or
the
any
size of a
other
small
industry.
Walmart.
Yes. Like you've got full stall, the full complete door on the stalls. Like you're talking the greatest bathrooms in the entire world. I will put them up against anybody, anywhere, any executive washroom, period.
Yeah, they've got an attendant that sits
nothing.
there and just. I mean, he's like a busboy at a Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
You look, like you take 3 or 4 sips out of your cup and you set it down and you look to have a conversation. You turn and your glass is full.
And you didn't hear or see anything. It just poof.
Poof, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, you can say they have a wall of jerky. There's a wall of jerky.
Yes, there is a wall of jerky.
They also have it's more or less like a butcher stand of jerky too.
Yes.
Yeah, a
Full
butcher
of
counter
steak
full of
case.
jerky. Yeah, it's sold by the pound. Yeah, yeah.
Fresh chopped
I'm
barbecue.
not a big
sandwich.
fan of the cherry maple, but
The new Korean barbecue one that they had is
I saw that
fantastic.
and I had to refrain, and here's why. I'm on day 4 of cutting out processed sugars. Okay.
Ugh,
I'm doing it for 21 days.
that's a shame.
No, let me finish, because I want to get rid of my gut before I fill it full of beer race weekend.
That's
Okay.
true. It's no. I mean, there's no refined sugar inside the beer.
Right. But the amount of garbage that I'm going to shove in my face race weekend.
Oh,
I mean, we're talking the footlong corn dogs, or
bro. I forgot about
the specialties that they sell specifically at Texas Motor Speedway, shit like that.
we need to take a group picture, all 3 of us deep throating a foot long corn dog while staring lovingly into each other's eyes.
Oh my God.
How far
We
are
need
we?
that picture. We need that picture.
How far are we going to be willing to take this? Johnny's kind of like a.
You will be able to
The
take all
reason why I made the face is because I understand where David goes.
David will take it all the way to the stick.
No, I'll take it all the way to the adoption papers.
Well, that too.
Ladies
He's-
and gentlemen, David
you-
Dixon, aka Woody Allen. Thank you very much.
Okay, chicken. The only reason that I wouldn't take you to the JP right now and sign paperwork is because I am still technically, according to the law, married. Although the process has started. But
I'm so excited once this shit passes through.
I'll tell you
Right.
what. Yeah, be
Hey,
my-
tax cuts. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so we're going to be staying in
Of course you
Roanoke,
know that's right.
about 10 minutes from the track. There is a Buc-ee's literally across the street from the track.
Which is also a Waffle House.
There is a Waffle House.
We're going to Waffle House.
Oh, hell yes.
Waffle House for dinner after the race.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm down with
Hell
that.
yeah. I will crush a fucking Waffle House. You kidding me?
Scattered, smothered, covered, and chunked.
And then you get all those all the drunk NASCAR fans in there afterwards as well. Hell yeah. That's my people.
So
It's a good time.
breakfast that morning on the camp stove, I'm thinking scrambled eggs, 2 pounds of bacon, and some tortillas. No, pita
Yeah,
pot.
get some baked beans for Chris. He can't do eggs.
Yeah, just anything.
Are you allergic to eggs?
I am allergic to eggs.
Fuck.
I found this out. I found this out when I was
Breakfast
sitting there.
fucking
I was
telling you.
getting this breakfast. I was like, "Hey, you want to go get some breakfast brews?" I was like, "Well, make sure it doesn't have eggs." And I was like, "What? Oh, fuck."
Yeah, my go-to breakfast taco is bean and cheese with country sausage, which is amazing, by the way, or with bacon.
Okay. So I'll get you some refried beans.
That'll work.
We'll spike it with some Cholula sauce. Chop up a little bit of green onion and mix it all in there. Throw you some bacon slice.
There you go.
I'm going to bring pita pockets instead of tortillas.
Okay.
I'm going to heat them up in the pan, bro.
That'd be interesting.
Money. I mean, think a Middle Eastern crunch wrap, dude.
A Middle Eastern crunch wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you would have to have a tostada shell with it as well, then, to get the crunch part.
Well, I mean, okay, so think a Middle Eastern burrito. How about that?
Okay, that's
All it is just it's unleavened bread, and what they do is they bake it really fast, right? And a pocket forms in the middle.
Mhm.
So all you have to do is either cut a slit off the top or cut it in half, and it opens up. The inside opens up
yeah.
like a pocket, and you just stuff whatever you want down in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
I'd be down. I'll try it.
I mean, if they had a decent shawarma place, I'd be like, dude, let's go get some euros.
You know, I've never tried shawarma.
Really?
I've never tried shawarma.
There's a really great shawarma place around the corner. After we're done with this battle, I think we should go out for shawarma. What do you think?
I think that'd be a great idea. Apparently, there's one just down the road. Never tried it, but I've always wanted.
I'm waiting for one of you to realize that that's an Avengers reference.
Yes, and what I just said is what Tony Stark said.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? You're right. You're right. Okay.
I mean,
So the reason for the show tonight is because there was some things that happened in the world of
yeah. We actually have like news shit.
Yeah.
Really?
I want to lead the baseball segment off properly.
With a fight?
No.
6 shots to the dome.
That's a typical Saturday night for David.
Right in the teeth.
Yeah, but it's not in the back. It's usually in the front.
The New York Yankees are now four games under 500. They are currently 17 games back in the American League East, 9 games back in the wild card race. Why? I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. That's because my floundering Boston Red Sox marched their happy asses after losing 2 out of 3 to the Washington Nationals. They took it to the Coliseum, the house that Jeter built, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, and swept the New York Yankees. It was a glorious weekend for me. It really was.
Did you do the happy dance?
I did the happy dance. He really, really did. I had to listen to the game on on the At Bat app yesterday because I was on the road during the game. But man, Saturday alone, Garrett Cole took the start for New York. He has the lowest ERA in the American League. And the Red Sox hung 6 runs on him in 4 innings. To include a grand slam and a 2-run shot.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett Cole was getting lit up. It was beautiful. I'm just like, yeah.
Was it one of those moments? It's like, I didn't know it was Christmas because that looks like a Christmas tree.
Dude, yeah.
I just want to point out that
the only problem with the Red Sox sweeping the Yankees this weekend is that everybody else in the American League East kept fucking winning. So at the very least, we kept pace in the wild card race. In fact, I was almost not home tonight. I would have had to have done my portion of the show from Minute Maid Park because the Red Sox are in town for the next 3 days.
Mm.
And alas, I could not get tickets. So I'm a little upset.
This is one of the few times that I'll actually say go Red Sox.
Meh.
Especially since the Rangers were struggling with the Brewers this weekend.
Dude, it just kind of seemed like everybody was struggling this weekend. Like the struggle bus was real. The Mariners came in and swept the Astros over the weekend.
Which, thank God they did, because we'd have been screwed otherwise.
Right, because now, I mean, it went from a 3-game lead to a 2.5-game lead, and they didn't manage to win and it's only by virtue of the fact that the Astros have lost their last 3, but the Rangers have lost their last 4.
Right.
So I'm sitting there going, oh, So, tonight they're in Arizona. Pisses me off because the game starts in 30 minutes. Actually, 20 minutes. And I can't fucking go. Like, I'm so irritated. Like, beyond.
They're right there.
Don't they have
We're down the fucking road?
Right there.
Don't they have like a screen on the outside of it?
No. What do you think this is? Jerry World? Come on, man. I mean, it's
not the same as being there, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Taylor Swift, she has these concerts in these open roof stadiums that are just plopped right down in the middle of all these high-rise condominiums. And so there's literally like hundreds of people that are getting to watch her show for free, but she doesn't want to close the roof, but it's not the same as being there.
Right.
Speaking of Taylor Swift concerts, Tom Brady took his daughters to a Taylor Swift concert last week, and he had the dad face. I mean, he had the dad face because he had his TB12 hat on, right? And he's in there just a plain white t-shirt and some khaki shorts. And dude, he had this look on his face like,
yep. I've never related to that man more in my entire life.
Right? For once, I feel as though I have a golden penis.
He is one of us.
Right? That's not the Little Mermaid. What do you mean? She's just like me. How's that video go? I saw that, dude. I died. I died when I saw that video. But TMZ released that video, or that photo. Barstool Sports released that photo. There were several fans that were just like around the area where Tom Brady was seated with his daughters, and they all were like, can confirm. Can confirm. Absolutely. Like, he had that 10,000 yard stare.
Yep.
It
You
was-
might be wondering how I got here.
Yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. It's like, wow. And and then on top of that, Kanye West's new girlfriend looks exactly like a female version of Pete Davidson.
dude, I literally thought that somebody had photoshopped that. I saw the picture and I was like, dude, that's Pete Davidson with tits.
Yeah.
And then they showed us side by side.
hair.
I was like, oh shit, that's not him. But I was like, I honestly thought that it was a Photoshop picture at first.
I thought it was like, huh, when did Pete Davis get tits? Oh wait. What?
Those Taco Bell commercials must not have paid out.
Oh man. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So we went over the story last week about Wander Franco and being put on the MLB restricted list.
Yeah.
Because the Dominican Attorney General's office was investigating claims that connected him with a 14-year-old minor. I think it was Thursday or Friday on Twitter. There was a bunch of tweets that were put out by a bunch of verified sources that parties closely associated to Wander Franco have been quoted as saying it is highly unlikely that Wander Franco will ever play Major League Baseball again.
Oh shit. So he's out.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's one of those situations where the photos were photoshopped. There is actual photographic proof out there. It has since been pulled down off the internet, but the Dominican authorities are in possession of several photos that show or allegedly show Wander Franco kissing this 14-year-old. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it could be, more fluff that's been added to the mill, but there was a second minor that came forward that said that they had been inappropriately touched by Wander Franco. And I'm like, okay, well, we'd like to think that it's innocent until proven guilty, but at this point, just like with any other judicial system in the country, you're guilty until proven innocent. So, but here's the thing. The court of public opinion is going to hold him responsible regardless as to whether or not he's cleared of these charges. The man's career is over. He's never going to, he's never going to play professional baseball again. If he does, it's going to be in the Dominican, or at the very least, he's going to go to jail. I think MLB at this point, once the Dominican officials make a definitive decision on Franco's future, or as it relates to these charges or these allegations, I stand by what I said last week. I think you should permanently ban him from the game.
Yeah,
rightfully so.
There is no restrictive list. You are now permanently banned.
If they already had the evidence and everything, I think they should actually had done it like as soon as they got all the evidence and everything, and bam, he's out.
Well,
I mean, what do they have to do? It's like, oh, did Chris Hansen show up at your house?
Well, here's the thing. You get these guys that they pop hot for performance enhancing drugs, or they come down on some other kind of suspension, for some other violation of the rules. They're always left with the avenue of appeal. I think MLB did the right thing by putting him on the restricted list, because what you're potentially doing, optically, you baseball, had they allowed him to appeal the decision and play through this investigation,
Oh, that would have been fucked.
dude, it would have been a nightmare. It would have been a public relations nightmare for Major League Baseball, for the Tampa Bay Rays. Wander Franco would have had to have had extra security.
Oh, they would have never recovered from that.
No,
MLB
and on top of that, just the amount of, I mean, just the players that are dads in that clubhouse. I mean, at this point,
he
I
wouldn't have walked out.
no, I mean,
they're starting to get a
dads
little
would
bit
have not been
up.
allowed to have their kids come in the clubhouse,
Mhm.
which kids of Major League Baseball players, that's one of the perks of the job.
Right.
Yeah.
You get locker room access. You get to hang out with other ball players.
Yeah.
I mean, your dad can like score you a ton of cool ass autographs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with Wander Franco being in the locker room, I mean, those would not have been a thing.
I mean, even if there was like a school nearby, they would have to move the goddamn stadium.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm kind of leaning towards the whole. He's not ever going to get reinstated. He's never going to play Major League Baseball again. And I'm not going to say that he was generational talent, but the guy had talent. He was good. And it's just a shame that he threw the entire thing away over some shitty decision making. And it's if the evidence is supported, the allegations are proven, and he's convicted, I hope and pray that not necessarily that they put him in Gen Pop, but that he goes away.
Oh yeah,
that he goes away, and
or they beat him or daddy.
I'm saying just put him in Gen Pop. They'll take care of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, there's that too, but
I just did an episode on Steven Sanderson. I was that guy that I fucked up, and I've been telling everybody the same story that Steve Samerson did. Steve Samerson was the guy that ended up killing his cellie because he was a pedophile.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already had like life imprisonment, so he's like,
yeah, he was never getting out.
Yeah, he was never getting out. So he's like, nah, I'll kill this motherfucker. Killed him.
Well, he did it because the guy kept bragging about it. And he's like, I can't take it that he's bragging about it.
Yeah. And what's sad is that scenario happened like in 2009. Same scenario. Exact scenario.
But yeah.
And I thought for the longest time, I thought that was the guy that did it. And apparently this just happens so constantly.
Yeah.
All right. So off track. 22 minutes ago, this was released. The Yankees are expected to promote outfielder Everson Pereira and infielder Oswald Peraza from AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Source told MLB.com's Brian Hawk on Monday. Both players are expected to be in uniform Tuesday night for Tuesday night series opener against the Nationals. The club has not yet confirmed the moves. Let's see here. Pereira was the number 80 prospect and the Yankees number 3 prospect in their pipeline. Peraza was the number 2 for New York. He wasn't even in the top 100 for MLB, but let me see here. Corresponding moves have not yet been have yet to be announced. So basically, by promoting these two, they're going to have to send somebody. They're going to have to send 2 people down, or designate them for assignment. Because, dude, I'm telling you, it's a bad look, man. The Yankees just were not the Yankees this weekend, like at all. I mean, you expect Giancarlo Stanton to go up there and just swing, but he looked stupid this weekend. He was actually benched on Sunday for the series finale and brought in to pinch hit.
When are they going to change out the general manager if this is their big problem?
Well, here's the thing. Brian Cashman, he's there. I mean, he's either got some dirt on the Steinbrenner boys or something. I have no idea. I mean, Yankee media and Yankees fans, I mean, they would point towards, injuries or whatever, but Judge is back and he's healthy. Stanton's been healthy. It just is for whatever reason. I mean, they're just not performing. And I'm not complaining about it at all.
Yep.
But it kind of takes some of the fun out of the rivalry, And
like, come on, guys, put at least a little.
They beat them like 7-3 Friday night, beat them 8-1 Saturday night, and then last night's game was what was last night's game? Hold on, I can't remember.
They were 1-9 in their last 10 games.
Jesus.
Yeah. See here, they beat them 6-5 on yesterday. I mean, and then that game actually kind of went back and forth. But and there was a lot of fireworks in that game. I mean, there was no bench clearing brawls or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't Seattle, Houston, but it was, like there was okay. Let me pull up this website here. All right. So you remember, Chris, last week we had that discussion about umpires changing the outcome of the games,
Yes.
having a material effect on the games. All right. So there's a website out there. It's umps or umpscorecards.com. They rate umpiring crews or umpires just in general.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Junior Valentine was the home plate umpire for the Yankees Red Sox game. Wow, dude, it was horrendous. Let me see here. He ranked his total. Let me see here. So what they do is they rate. They gave him an accuracy rating of 95.2 for yesterday's game, and there is absolutely no way that was a 95.2 accuracy. The announcers for both radio and television for both the Yankees and the Red Sox were absolutely just on this guy. Alex Cora got ejected from the game yesterday because of this guy. I mean, it just atrocious. I mean, he missed a middle pitch and called it a ball. Straight down the pipe. Split the plate on two different axes, and he missed the call.
See, Angel Hernandez protege?
I mean, I would think so because, dude, it was bad yesterday, and he was having a material. He was absolutely having a material effect on the outcome of the game. And it was just, yeah.
Speaking of Angel Hernandez, there was a video I saw. Was it this past weekend? I want to say it was a game he called. Actually, I think yesterday. 22 missed calls that he had, and he was calling strikes where that was cut so far out of the zone that you couldn't have reached it if you took 3 steps out and then swung, and he was calling a strike on it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It was 22 missed calls that he had.
Can't they make a list? They have to make a list so they can get this guy fired. and canned.
The unions, man, their union will not allow it.
And ump scorecards, they have Angel Hernandez because he called a game on the 16th of this month, just last week.
That's probably the one I was thinking about. I'm sorry.
They gave him a 92.1% rating.
There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely not.
Way.
I mean, to be completely and totally fair, Will Fleming, he helps do the color commentary, play by play with Joe Castiglione on the WEEI broadcast for the Boston calls, right?
Yeah.
He cited this website yesterday. He says he references this website regularly when he's talking about the accuracy of home plate umpires. And he said that if they give him a good grade, he will never reference that website again.
Oh,
If they give Angel Hernandez?
No, if they gave Junior Valentine a good rating. And they gave him a 95 for yesterday. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way that he had a 95% accuracy rating for that game yesterday because he was missing pitches that were a good 6 to 7 inches outside the strike zone.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he please. Yeah. And on top of all of that, he had that one strike down the middle, just completely missed it. And he had a call overturned at home plate. Yankees, it was the 8th inning or the bottom of the 8th. Yankees had Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He was on third. And there was a line drive base hit, or he was on second. There was a line drive base hit to the outfield. Rob Snyder fielded the ball. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was coming to third to advance, right? Well, Rev Snyder slips. He doesn't drop the ball. He just slips, right? So it kind of delays the throw coming back in. So Kiner-Falefa decides he's going to break for the plate. Well, Rob Refsnyder throws the ball in. Trevor Story makes the relay and throws an absolute strike to Connor Wong, who's behind the plate. He sets up in front of the plate like you're supposed to. The throw carried him over, right? So according to the letter of the rule, he gave Kiner-Falefa a lane, right? Junior Valentine called him safe. Yankees are supposedly take the lead 6-5 at this point. Red Sox are like, wait, because Connor Wong immediately contested the call.
Yeah.
He's like, no, this is bullshit. Red Sox at this point, who are without Alex Cora because he already got ejected. They're like, hey, review it. They put their hands up. They're like, review it. So it goes to New York, to the replay booth. They take a solid 7 or 8 minutes to review that call. And then there was some confusion. So they came back and they couldn't exactly get the decision right because now at that point, New York is challenging whether or not their runner was given a lane. So they're trying to say that the run should count because he was not given a lane. So they go back under the hood and they're conversing with the replay officials in New York. And they finally come back and they're like, the call on the field is overturned and the run will not count. The runner was given a lane. New York loses their challenge. So Boston challenged the safe call. That was overturned. And then New York decided that they wanted to throw their hat in the ring and say, well, we're going to challenge it and say that he didn't have a lane.
Yeah.
And then when the officials went back and looked, they're like, yeah, he had the lane because legally, according to the rule, the throw can carry you into the path of the runner. You just can't set up in the lane. And so the replay, it was bang, bang, right? The replay shows Connor Wong's catcher's mitt catching the spikes on Falefa's shoe.
Yeah.
because his foot was up off the ground, and the glove, his catcher's mitt, caught the spikes before he even crossed the plane of the plate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and dude, I'm telling you, New York shouldn't have even come back and tied that game yesterday because they were squeezing the strike zone on. Well, he was squeezing the strike zone for the Red Sox pitchers, and so they were having to basically throw him over the middle. And of course, what is New York doing? They're hitting bombs with it, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, really? And this website gave him a good like a 95.4% rating yesterday. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Who runs that website, I wonder?
I don't know.
That might be something to look at.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Ooh, thank you. My lovely wife has brought me taco soup for dinner
Yay.
with some homemade cornbread, and it's buttered. So it just says the data behind. I see the at ump scorecards archive. The data behind the popular Twitter platform ump scorecards.
So that's fishy to be that far off. Like that's
yeah.
Or you'd have to look at how they're calculating it, because there's no way.
It says so on their About Us page. It's an online platform dedicated to measuring the accuracy, consistency, and favor of MLB umpires. It is not affiliated with Major League Baseball. Ethan Singer is the founder, co-owner, and technical director of Ump Scorecards. He is an undergrad at Boston University studying statistics, computer science, and public policy. You can find more of his work and his resume on his personal website. You can reach him at, we're going to blast him.
Oh, here you go.
Singer. I'm sorry. Come here. Come hither. From here. From here. Thank you. Okay. You can reach him at SingerEP, that's SINGEREP at BU.edu. Ethan Schwartz. So figures it'd be a couple of Ethans, right? Ethan Schwartz is the co-owner and business director of Ump Scorecards. He's an undergrad at the University of Pennsylvania studying mechanical engineering. You can reach him at Ethan K. Schwartz at gmail.com. Their history. They started as on Reddit in October of 2019, covering the MLB postseason. At the time, graphics were made by hand. Data was downloaded manually. A Python script was run to generate summary statistics, and the results were entered into an Adobe Illustrator template. These early graphics emphasize the frequency of incorrect calls and not much else. And then it shows what their first.
I still wonder where they're pulling their numbers from, though.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Not pulling the numbers, more or less how they judge the stuff and what kind of point scheme they have for that kind of thing. Because it just, if you have that many, I mean, look at the stuff that's on my USAA insurance little point thing for my car. The only thing they judge is harsh braking and if I'm using hands-free, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But, it's understandable since, I'm on the road.
Drop your phone, though. If you drop your phone, it's counted as a phone handling. Like I had, because I use USA and I use that app. And I had my cell phone holder fell off because of the adhesive, like ran out. Everything's been so hot. It literally melted all that. But it fell off of the windshield and fell down. That counted as 5 phone handlings. It fell one time, but because it bounced around a little bit, it counted it as 5 different phone handlings.
Well,
I didn't touch it.
Yeah. Well, my point in general is I went to South Dakota and traveling along periods of time, in 1,000 miles. You go up there, you come back. I had a score of 100, and then I took that trip, and now my score's at 75. How is this
It can be
actually
skewed. That's what I'm
fucking
saying. It can easily be skewed. That's why it's concerning to me that they're not being more forthright in their methods of collection. And
See, that's concerning because I just switched to USAA. And because unlike Gronkowski, we are special. And my wife signed us up for that pilot program, so I've got to download that app.
Yeah. If as long as
it will save you like because my original price on mine's like mine originally is like $130, and with that app and everything, it's knocked down to like 119.
Yeah, you're gonna save money on it, and it's not that hard not to. Like, if I have my phone and my cell phone holder up there, and I'm like, I have Spotify going, and I'm skipping songs and stuff. Like, I'll turn the phone on and skip songs. It doesn't count any of that. It's wanting to know if your phone is actually in your hand. Like, it tracks the movement of the phone itself, not the screen.
Yeah.
Now, if you're calling as well, it will say you've had 2% of your trip what you was spent on the phone or something like that, like hands-free, and it counts it as hands-free calling.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. Like I said, it's only an issue of it doesn't always take things into account. It's very black and white.
Yeah. But my thing on that though is
you could just smooth by saying that you were a passenger. And
why can't you have this for the umpires? I mean, it's black and white. Fucked up.
And like you have the robotic system in place that can actually keep track of that. I don't think that they're using that. Like you have a system in place that could objectively say, yes, they missed this call. No, they get this right. There's a system in place for those numbers that he's quoting. They are not using that system. They can't be using that system. And if they're not using that system, what system are they using to say what is and isn't correct?
Yeah, I guess you're right on that.
Because I'm looking on right while you guys are talking. Let's see here. I'm trying to find out where MLB gets their ratings.
Yeah. Or what do you think the point scale on that is? Like, they only get like.
Well, I mean, because everybody starts. Okay, so it's based on percentages, right? So it's
I understand that.
All right, so what they do is the number of games you call up to that point. It's so they figure it almost like a batting average, right? Because it constantly updates itself. So you figure on the average, umpires are having to see anywhere from 260 to 350 pitches per game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's if they're burning through their bullpens, right? So what they're looking at is the number. Okay, so that little graphic that you see on the screen, that little rectangle.
Yeah.
That's the projected strike zone, right? According to the rules. It's from the top of from the hollow of the knee, which is just below the kneecap, to the letters, top of the letters on your jersey. Okay. Yeah. And then it is not supposed to extend past the black border of home plate. Okay. As far as left or right. And it is supposed to be the depth of the plate. So as far from one end to the other, I mean, that's basically the perimeter of the strike zone. Pitches that are in and out of that. So like the pitches that are out, counts against them, pitches they're in that they call correctly, help their averages go up. I find it very hard to believe that Junior Valentine got anywhere close to 90% yesterday.
This is true. I mean, we're looking at the stuff there, and it doesn't look like it's there.
Mm-mm. There's a chaosventured.com I'm looking at. Let's see here. Now, bear in mind, yes, Junior Valentine. See, I don't think that this is accurate because, yeah, no, it's not. It was updated 2021, so never mind. Just like players, just like you and I, we can have a shit day at work. But yesterday, the degree of bad day bled over, and I think that because both dugouts were barking at him about his strike zone, that he started to take it personally. And then when Alex Cora stepped out and immediately got ejected and then walked over anyway and got his money's worth, he kind of made it personal. I mean, that's what it, I mean, there's no two ways about it. And I think that we need to have some kind of system of checks and balances. I mean, umpires, when they have days like that, they need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
You know, and when they materially affect the outcome of a game.
Why can't they fine umpires for doing stupid shit like that?
Well, that's where I was heading with my points. They need to be fined.
It's the union, yeah.
Yeah.
Union won't allow it.
It's like, you know what? Player has a bad day, they get ejected. Manager gets ejected. That's a $10,000 fine.
Yep.
Right? Right off the bat. Doesn't matter. $10,000. If you fight, it's however, whatever they feel is appropriate. Plus you actually miss games, which affects, potential contract stipulations or contract bonuses.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
But Alex Cora yesterday, standing up for his hitters, standing up for his pitchers, arguing balls and strikes is an automatic ejection. You can't do it. But when they're that egregious, I'm not much of a big Alex Cora fan this season, just because I think that the way that the team is being handled is a little lackluster. But yesterday, I mean, I will stand behind him 100% for his actions yesterday. And if I had the money, hell, I'd pay his fine for him. I wouldn't care.
Right.
I mean, there are even days when, Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees, gets ejected. A lot of these ejections are just purely based on the fact that the strike zone is just falling apart. Now, we talked about robo strike zones. I don't think that we need that at the major league level. But I do think that we need like a limited number of free challenges for strikes for strike zone challenges. If you lose it, that's it. You're done for the day, right? No more challenges for the rest of the day. But if you win your challenge, obviously you get to retain it and you get to use it again later in the game. But
right.
I think that there should only be like 2 or 3 strike zone challenges per team per game.
Yeah, you don't want to
You can even limit it to 2, because you know how in the NFL you're limited to 2 challenges, 2 challenge flags, and if you lose your first challenge, you lose both challenges, right?
Yeah,
I think that system needs to be ported over to Major League Baseball for challenging bad strike calls
in some form. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it should be relatively easy, because I believe they've got that at the college level, if I'm not mistaken. I know that I've seen it in some low A ball, But it's horrendous. The officiating this year. I mean, even going back a couple of years, you got your Joe
Well, like
West.
That TikTok video I sent you, they're saying like it's not just the refs, it's a bunch of stuff that's happening in MLB this year.
Yeah,
Fights, the managers are having problems. It's like a shitstorm for this year.
it really is. But we've got like I think roughly just a little over a month left in the season, so we're going to start seeing some of these bad umpires getting weeded out because as the postseason starts approaching, the crews that are going to start calling those postseason series, they're already starting to get tapped.
Yeah.
So, so let's kind of move on because we're already been at this for an hour. So, moving on to football.
Here's one.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna run over the scores real quick, and then we're gonna run over that Baker Mayfield story that you sent me. Did
okay? Well, I also have a one for the Patriots. I should bowling, but we'll get that one once you get to this.
I was watching that game on the NFL app, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. There's still one game left to play, and that is tonight at 7:00. It's going to be the Ravens at the Commanders. That's going to be the Monday Night Football.
I mean the Redskins, right? I'm calling them Redskins now.
Yeah, the Redskins. The Browns and the Eagles played to a tie last Thursday.
Really?
18-18, yeah. The Cleveland Browns tied the Philadelphia Eagles. Cry, Eagle fans, cry.
Tears are so salty.
Oh, man, they make your food taste so good. The New York Football Giants beat the Panthers 21-19. The Bengals and the Falcons played to a 13-13 tie. See, aren't you glad I squared you guys away whenever I was talking about the Lions and not the Bengals, because you were all on that Bengal bandwagon, on that Bengal train. Woo woo! And then it hit that roadblock because of 13-13 tie to the hot Atlanta Falcons.
They still have a team? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't fold up shop. They don't just use the Mercedes-Benz Dome for college. Speaking of the national championship game, it's going to be at the NRG this year.
Where's that?
It's the football stadium next to the Astrodome here in Houston, Texas, David. It's where they played several Super Bowls. It's home of the Houston Texans practice squad that they like to throw out against active roster NFL teams every Sunday. It's also where they had the NCAA men's Final Four last season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any of that ringing a bell?
Featured in that travesty of a movie, 80 for Brady. So here I propose
modern art master.
Okay.
I propose this, gentlemen. Let us see what we can do to attend the college football national championship game in person.
We'll work on it.
I don't care who's playing.
Possible.
I just say that we put out the feelers, we start probing, and we start seeing what we got to do in order to make that a reality.
Because that's going to be in like December or January.
January.
Mm-hmm. That's still going to be tough because I got to pick up more
January
on
20th or 24th, if I'm not mistaken.
The only thing that I could see it coming up against as far as me would be SHOT Show.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's mid-January.
That might be the only sticking point. But we'll see. We can start figuring it out.
Yeah.
But yes, that would be awesome.
But there's another strange thing
Oh,
that
I'm
happened.
so sorry. I am sorry. I was mistaken completely. I saw the billboard for it and I was driving. I saw where it was going to be. I didn't see the date. January 8th.
Oh, see, there you go. I could make that happen. That's assuming that
two semifinal games will be played. One on January 1st. The national championship game will be played at 7 p.m. on January 8th, 2024 at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
The real sticking point is going to be how much is that ticket going to cost?
That's why I say we start now.
That's the only. Yeah. Well, it's not the only potential sticking point, but it is a major possible.
How the way the gas price is going up, that might be a bigger factor now. What Biden economics?
What are you talking about? It's doing great.
Bidenomics, right? I mean, we have to be doing good. We're sending 42 F-16s over to Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean, we can only afford to pay $700 to each, survivor in Hawaii, but we can send, 20-something billion over to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I mean,
or wasn't that bill that he had? It was 12 billion for Hawaii, and it was 24 billion for Ukraine that was hidden in there.
Yeah,
might have been.
Because you got to continue to pay the oligarchy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
This just popped up. Michigan Jim Harbaugh to serve self-imposing suspension in NCAA case seeking resolution. He's the coach of Michigan College.
The Michigan College. Michigan University. The Wolverines.
Yeah.
Good.
Apparently he did
have beaten Ohio State. That's all I'm saying. Or no.
Well, they're talking about suspension and everything.
They played Georgia in the semifinal last year.
He's doing it's a level 1 violation. Yeah, apparently he lied on some stuff. I don't know. It's not giving me full information on here. Did not need investigators.
I don't know. That was
it's not giving me any kind of information on here. It's just saying he misleaded and
misled. Yeah.
Misled.
Well, none of our fans follow Big Blue, and none of them follow the Ohio State University. So, I mean, I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure none of them back the Blue. So,
yeah,
it's the Blue of Michigan, the Wolverines. I mean, we all back the Blue here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, David sent me a link. Let me jump into that article real quick. And yeah, we're going to run a little bit long this week, folks, just because we're not going to have a joke time with Joke Time with Colin segment this week. It's a school night. He's staying with his grandparents. Not my parents, but hers. And yeah, so we're gonna pass on that, but fear not, because the moral questionability of this show will remain intact. You just wait.
Yeah, I don't want to hear. Did you know what kind of jokes he tells on their internets?
No, it's a long story that'll be had off air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So Baker Mayfield appears to be in two battles this summer. The Tampa Bay quarterback is fighting for the starting job with Kyle Trask, but he's now also fighting with family members over lost money, according to KXAN in Austin, Texas. Mayfield and his wife, this is coming from Yahoo Sports, by the way. So on the byline, it is Tyler Greenwalt and Chris Swick. That's what I'm going with. Anyways, Mayfield and his wife Emily petitioned an Austin, Texas court Tuesday to begin depositions for a lawsuit against 6 companies, 2 of which, Camwood Capital Management Group LLC and Camwood Ventures LP, were founded by Mayfield's father, James Mayfield. Now, Mayfield and his wife want those companies to turn over financial reports from 2018 to 23 so that they can figure out what happened to roughly $12 million they invested in those companies. The Mayfields don't know if their money has been properly or competently invested and has been stolen or otherwise misappropriated or something in between, according to the petition. Now, the petition is not a lawsuit, though that could be coming in the future depending on how the companies respond to the request. Now, Camwood Capital, the company at the center of the potential lawsuit, managed Mayfield's brand and finances since he was at Oklahoma, according to a 2019 article from the Athletic. Now, protecting the money we're earning, or quote, protecting the money we're earning is number one. I've always been one to save it. Mayfield said in the article. For me, it's protecting the money by surrounding yourself with good people. Now, Mayfield is asking for financial records starting in 2018, the year that he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns with the first pick of the NFL draft. Now, Mayfield signed a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Browns before his rookie season. Mayfield was traded to the Carolina Panthers in 2022 after a shoulder injury limited his production in 2021. He played 7 games with the Panthers before getting released. Mayfield signed then with the Rams, where he started 4 games down the stretch. If you remember correctly, he went in there not even knowing what the playbook was, and on his first time touching the field in a Rams uniform, took him down there for a tutty. It was impressive. Yeah. So, but Mayfield opted to sign with the Buccaneers after hitting free agency. He's locked into a competition with trash, backed up Tom Brady the past 2 seasons. That competition is nearing its conclusion. I don't blame the guy. I really don't.
Kind of sounds like what happened with Dan Cook.
Yeah, Dan Cook, also the whole Britney Spears thing. I'm not saying that it went as far as a conservatorship, and you're definitely not going to see Baker Mayfield dancing around in his underwear on Instagram. But yeah, I think this is a situation where the money was just too much for Dad to ignore. Instead of doing the right thing, doing the moral thing, and doing the thing that you were contracted to do by your son, who is helping you to afford the lifestyle that you're becoming accustomed to, he decided that he wanted to go down to Taco Bell late at night, get himself a Baja Blast and a chalupa, and decided to take $12 million over the course of a few years. Only thing is that kind of like the guys from Office Space, he forgot to move the decimal point.
Wow.
That was
You like how I eventually got to that point? That was pretty good, right?
That was a decent reference.
Decimal point. But yeah, if the financial records show, I mean, obviously they're going to have their lawyers, they're going to have a CPA, they're going to have some kind of like forensic accountant take a look at those books, because you can tell if numbers have been moved around and everything like that. Because when we're talking about financial records, we're talking from buying office supplies all the way down to transactions for, investments.
Yeah.
So everything that came in has to be accounted for, not only what's present in the accounts, but what was spent and what it was spent on. And I mean, they're going to have to provide receipts. They're going to have to provide transaction records. It's going to potentially be a little messy. And if it's proven that his dad took $12 million, I mean, that's a shame. That is shameful. I mean, do I think Baker Mayfield will get that $12 million back eventually? Probably not.
It would take
at this point, it's about the principle. Me, I don't think that I could throw my dad in jail for $12 million, but I can guarantee you that it would definitely cause a permanent rift. over $12 million. Because, I mean, it's we're not talking about, okay, we've established that you're a whore now. We're just negotiating price.
Yeah.
I mean, you were entrusted with a large sum of money. You know, if it was a question of his dad needing to make ends meet because he made some bad betting decisions, then, you know, hey, come clean about it. You know, don't try to cover it up and take $12 million of your son's money, especially when your son's not that good. I mean, he's a starting quarterback. He has the skill set to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Is he a top tier? Is he an elite? No, he's not an elite, but he's a starting quarterback. And there's only 32 people in the world that can say that.
Yeah.
You know, on any given weekend. But you know, I really hope that the money is found. But if it's found that it was spent improperly, or that it was stolen, absolutely. I think that, just like with Wander Franco, I think legal ramifications need to come into play here. Because at the end of the day, man, I mean, as a parent, don't steal from your kid.
Yeah.
I mean, the three of us are dads, and we couldn't even I can't even fathom the level of betrayal that would come, that would just be broadcast through the eyes of that of my child if they realized that I had stolen something from them. But like the amount of trust that would have been violated in one fell swoop to never be regained again, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, you can never come back from that.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's a bridge that not only doesn't get rebuilt, but the foundation is so unstable that you might as well just flood it out and turn it into a reservoir, because you're not going to be able to build on that ground again.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I can't even. I can't even. Speaking of parents and parental rights and things of that nature, Michael Orr from the Blind Side story. This guy hasn't been working in the NFL since 2018, because he can't pass a physical. And now all of a sudden, here it is, the year of our Lord 2023. He wants to sue the Toy family, saying, I didn't make a dime off of that money. And they lied. Well, no, they didn't actually lie.
True.
Because if you go back and watch the movie, they didn't actually adopt him because he was too old. The whole Sandra Bullock exchange thing. They entered him into a conservatorship because he was already, I think he was either 17 or 18 at the time.
I think it was 17.
Yeah, 17. So he was entered into a conservatorship. They didn't steal money from him. In fact, Mr. Toy came forward and was like, you know what, we're just going to end the conservatorship because obviously he wants to cut ties. You know, the reason why they had the conservatorship on him in the first place is to help him manage that kind of money, because when he got drafted and went to go play for the Ravens, and then he played for a couple of other teams, I forget which ones, but he obviously didn't spend his money well.
No.
Because here it is, 2023, the man's broke, and he's trying to get his last hurrah 15 minutes by suing the family that kept him from, you know, living in the ghettos of Memphis.
Right.
And then the cancel culture that never ceases to amaze started screaming that Sandra Bullock should have to return her Emmy for portraying Mrs. Toy.
Actually, she won an Oscar.
I said Emmy. Okay, so Emmy, so Oscar. Whatever. Thank you, David. David corrected me. Holy shit, what happened there?
This
Emmys
is,
are for TV.
That's frightening.
Emmys are for TV. The only thing that
And AVN awards are for the videos that you watch.
Yeah. You're acting like you're like, I got you now. And I'm like, yeah.
No.
And
Did I deliver that with an
by the
air
way,
of,
the ends are the same time as the shot.
buddy, I got your ass. I got you.
No,
I
he
got
watches those videos too.
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
He watches those videos too. The
Oh,
hey
man.
buddy, I got your ass.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay.
That's
I
a
think he
specific
downloaded the
category
wrong
within
metal
the.
jacket.
That's the specific category within the AVN.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. David constantly downloads the wrong Full Metal Jacket. Private Pile. What the fuck is this?
It's
What
a pop.
the fuck is
Yep.
this?
By the way, the SHOT Show.
It's a penis drill sergeant.
By the way, SHOT Show and the AVAs are technically in the same time frame.
Yes, they are, and I do not want to talk about it at all. I don't want to even have to think about that.
That bad.
Oh no, we have okay. I don't even know if I can tell this.
Off the show.
I'll tell you off the
Do it
show.
off the show. I want to hear it.
Now,
The show.
once we get once my wife gets our website up and running and gets our merch store, we might sell a VIP package to where we get like after show access.
Oh, bro, yeah,
We can do that on Patreon.
yeah. We absolutely should.
We should do a
Like-
Patreon.
And give them a little BTS of our our cleanup part afterward, or
Not
before.
the videos you're thinking of, David.
I'm not gonna lie. I blinked out after he said the words, so I do that.
You blank out while you're saying words.
Yes, I do, and it's hard to do interviews because I watch that shit. I have to watch that shit when I edit.
What did you just say?
He has no clue. It's already in the ether. It's gone.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Submitted for your approval. Okay, so the Patriots and the Packers were playing this past Saturday, and they had to cancel the game, I think, with like 13:32 or something like that left in the fourth quarter, 13:08 or something like that, because
10:38.
their rookie cornerback got stretchered off of the field. Isaiah Bolden. He let me see here. He flew back with the team on Sunday, Belichick told WEEI on Monday morning. He said, quote, I talked to Isaiah on Sunday. He's in good spirits, recovering, obviously, so we'll just take it day to day. But he certainly seems a lot better today than it looked like Saturday night. So that's a good thing. It's good for him to fly back with the team and everyone to see him. He's got a lot of support here. He was injured with 10:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. It was a 3rd and 7 play. Bolden was looking to tackle Packers wideout Malik Heath when he took friendly fire from teammate Calvin Munson. Bolden was hit in the head, fell to the ground, and did not move afterwards. Bolden was then placed on a stretcher and carted off the field. That was the final play of the game as both teams agreed to end the contest. Now, I think the only reason why we're seeing things like that is because after the DeMar Hamlin incident last year, that scared the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was taken to. I mean, they announced that he still had feeling in all of his extremities. He was taken to the local hospital there in Green Bay for further tests and observation. They released him, and he flew back with the team on Sunday. So that's good there. It's with the way that with as fast and as hard as the players hit in today's game, I think form tackling should be made an absolute premium. Not just suspend players for making contact at the head, or eject players for making contact with it. I think you should fine them and maybe suspend them for a couple of weeks without pay. And before you get reinstated, you have to go in front of an NFL board and show that you know how to make a proper form tackle.
Yep.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to make this thing go, make concussions, make paralyzing injuries drop significantly. And we're not talking about wearing those Guardian pads on top of the helmets. I'm they do that in the preseason during practices and things like that. But I mean, these players, I mean, I don't know, because I mean, if it was completely effective, then they would be the NFL would have mandated that they be in the regular season during a game.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to take in the factor of accidents. I mean, if the person moves,
okay, so
you're going with the movement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whenever whenever I was training for tower stuff, when I was taking shots, they were always saying, always write in the report, aim for center mass. But if his head gets shots, he jumps. My bad.
Right. So that being said, yeah, every situation needs to be reviewed. So when they do the review to determine whether or not a player made contact with the head, whether it's okay, well, this was inadvertent, this was an accident, this was a football injury, or this was a malicious intent, then we go from there. But I honestly do not think that we're going to see a significant drop off. I mean, a notable drop off with just equipment alone. It's definitely going to
have more. It's not going to be equipment. It's more studies on. We should have more studies on the human brain and how a lot of things affect it.
That's all that they've been doing. Okay, and we've got neurologists in this country that specialize in concussion protocols. There's been several golfers that have seen this one. I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. Dale Earnhardt Jr. went to go see him on his own accord, and has recommended him to other drivers, other professional athletes. See this guy. He operates out of Pennsylvania, or out of Pittsburgh, I believe. But it's the reason why the equipment is evolving the way that it is. You see 4 different types of helmets on the field now, and you see different types of pads. It's because they're analyzing G-forces, they're analyzing impact, they're analyzing the amount of joules of energy that are transferred from one moving object to another in the name of trying to get these concussions down. But I think that you can only go so far with equipment. I think that it's down to the player and how the players are coached. Because even starting down at the peewee level, you've got coaches that are just out there teaching kids how to use their pads as weapons, just for the name of the big hit. Get out there and clean that kid's clock, knock him on his ass.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They're chasing the highlight reel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're out there trying to get that top 10 best plays on SportsCenter.
Yep,
that's not what it's about.
Yep.
I mean, if your road to glory is paved through the welfare of another player and the longevity of their career in that sport, you need to find something else to do.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was not in it for the right reasons.
Yeah. Exactly.
But that was another thing I was going to talk about is most of you could have like a concussion when you're like, I've seen kids starting out playing football when they're in like elementary. Yeah. And if you keep on doing that, a lot of people are like, oh, we got to start them young. I was like, no, you got to start them probably around. In my opinion, they should actually play football. They should go through the training. Like if you're going to play high school football, if you want your kid to, excel, start at high school football, and then they get that training and everything. Maybe if they have talent and whatnot, and they go actually on the field. But you gotta start stopping using these kids using the kids as I wish this is what I wish my life would have been. Because that's what a lot of parents are doing.
Yeah, parents cannot live vicariously through the athletic endeavors of their children.
Exactly.
Let's do it. Like I sucked at baseball. I love the game of baseball, and I sucked at it all through school. Got cut from every team I tried out for in school. Colin, hands down, way better of a ball player than I ever was.
Mm-hmm.
And I want him to continue playing it because he enjoys the game.
Oh yeah.
He loves playing the game. I'm out there. I had him bring his ball glove with him this weekend. I'm out there in the backyard throwing around a catch with him. And, we're back there, we're just zipping the ball back and forth with zero effort. And we're just carrying on a complete conversation while we're just taking in the sound of a ball popping a glove,
Yep.
And it took a lot of work. It took a lot of practice. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of dedication, and it took a lot of hours for us to get to that point. As far as his accuracy is concerned. Phone keeps reminding me, the Houston Astros are hosting the Boston Red Sox, and the game's about to start.
Shut up, phone.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm bitter. I'm fucking salty. And if you have any means necessary to transfer a ticket to the game tomorrow night or Wednesday night, by all means, make it happen. You can reach me at Johnny Skelton on Facebook, SocksDaddy77 on TikTok, or Old NSF, or that's N November Foxtrot Sierra Grunt on Twitter. Please, by all means, send me to the ball game. Please.
What time does the game start?
In a minute, like 7. Dick.
So if you meet me at my apartment tomorrow at 6:30, I'll be able to get you tickets.
You live in San Antonio.
Is that an excuse? That sounds like an excuse, Johnny. Do you want the tickets or not?
Not if there's a black leather couch involved.
Damn it, it works for David.
I mean,
it works for me for like you know how often it is that I get like even touched by anybody else? It's a long time. You can say, hey, I'm gonna get you a candy bar. I'm jumping in that van. So
if it says free Red Sox tickets or free ammo on the side of that white van, you're never going to see me again.
Free ammo? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Free tacos, free ammo? Yeah, okay.
Oh, I've started looking for an AR-based magazine-fed semi-automatic shotgun for the house.
Nice. I still want a Mossberg.
Gorgeous.
Mossberg actually makes an AR-based magazine-fed shotgun. I just don't feel like paying like $600 for
it. That's bare bones.
Actually, a lot of the
it comes with the barrel. It's I read about them this morning. The barrel has the M-LOK system on it, and there's a flat top for a red dot on the top.
Nice.
Yeah, if you get it like all dolled up, yeah, you're talking $1,200 easy.
Mm-hmm. Brunelli makes one that's about $1,200 bare bones.
Yeah,
but it also has a double stack magazine.
Yeah. Oh, I've been dreaming about that one
because I'm like, man, I've seen these 12 gauge, and there's a couple of companies out there. They've got a 12 gauge AR platform that is capable of handling 2.5 inch and 3 inch slugs. So you can run, it'll chew through both of those.
Yeah. That would be nice.
And I'm just sitting there going,
but I've also been hearing a lot of problems with the AR platform. Well, any kind of platform for like that, unless it's like a pump action or anything.
Well, I've got the pump action here at the house, but I've also been looking. I've also been toying with the idea of getting a bullpup.
I'm not sold on the whole bullpup design.
I'm not either, but like I said, I'm going to do my homework on it. I'm more than likely going to have to make a couple of trips to some of the area gun stores to see if they've got any in stock, just so I can get my hands on one, just to see kind of how they feel, how they balance out, just kind of look at the mechanics on it. I mean, bullpup obviously has been tried, tested and tried and trued and everything. I mean, it's been proven on the battlefield because that's what the British Army uses. They use bullpup rifles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with a bullpup shotgun, I mean, it's the same process as far as chambering and ejecting the rounds. Just the magazine sits back a little bit further than we're used to.
Right.
I think it would be pretty badass.
Yeah.
Especially if you go Cerakoted in the good old red, white, and blue.
That would be awesome.
Well, the P90 is a bullpup design, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're right.
I still want it for any kind of shotgun that I would actually like, hands down, like grab as soon as I would throw money at it. Is the old original trench gun.
I want the AA-12. I'm not going to lie. I mean, somebody went out and created a drum magazine for the AA-12 that holds 100 shells.
100 round.
Fucking hell!
Isn't that what they had in the Expendables?
Yeah. And homeboy, I think it was a Demolition Ranch. He fired it. He was like, "My shoulder is fucked."
Oh yeah, yeah. You would have to be built like Terry Crews to be able to actually use it effectively.
Because he sat there and he was braced up against it, and he was just like, bam, 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 bam.
Oh yeah,
and he's sitting there trying to walk into it. It was hilarious. I was sitting there like, "Good God!"
Oh yeah, I just started walking backwards.
All right, so this tropical depression is supposed to bring heavy winds and rain overnight. Now they're projecting that landfall will be just south of Corpus Christi. That still will put us on the dirty side of the storm. So do what you want. We'll see. All right, let me see here.
We ain't getting.
All right, so this is where they're projecting that landfall is going to be, just south of Corpus Christi. Here's where I am, right here, just south of Houston.
Yeah, we might catch a little bit of it. Depends on how much energy it carries over the land.
Well, if it's going to be a tropical depression when it comes in, I'm definitely getting some rain, which means I don't have to stand out there like an asshole tonight and water my foundation.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to NASCAR. We've been at this for an hour and a half now. We have not touched the race cars, and we have not gone into the depths of bad jokes. It's fucking embarrassing.
I found one. I texted it over to you guys.
I know.
I definitely can't.
Oh yeah. You definitely can't say that one.
You can't do that on television. Just don't say the words "I don't know," and you won't get slimed. Right. See, that was a deep, dark reference from the way back. 80s. Even some of our older listeners are gonna be like,
"The way back,"
and it's gonna hit them. They're gonna be driving down the road. And they're going to be thinking about something completely different. They're going to be like, I don't know. Oh, that's what. Yeah, you're welcome. Don't come crying to me if you cause your deductible to go up.
You know that was actually technically a Canadian show.
America, but yeah,
yeah.
God.
Look how people had just the exact same expression. Ladies and gentlemen, that was not rehearsed beforehand. That was a genuine reaction from Jonathan.
That was the conditioned response that we have been, that was a conditioned response to the condition known as Daviditis. We've been exposed to that for the better part of a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Definitely.
If you find yourself having that expression for longer than 4 hours, consult a medical professional as your heart may not be ready for Daviditis. So NASCAR, they're within room rooms this weekend. They were at the Go Bowling at the Glen at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. It was a road course race this weekend. And wouldn't you know it, William Byron led not only most of the race, he started second. It took him 38 laps to get to the front. And I mean, he led all but 38 laps, and that is to include pit sequences. He was absolutely flawless on the day. Kept all the fenders on the car, and this was his first road course win. He said that they had done some testing at the Glen last year. They also did some testing at COTA down in Austin, but none of that stuff really translated to Watkins Glen. So they, MRN was asking what the secret to his success was. And he said, well, really, what best prepared me for the weekend was iRacing.
Really?
William Byron started out as a hardcore iRacer. He still is a hardcore iRacer. He actually owns an iRacing team where he pays a driver to race for him on the weekends.
That is crazy.
In the Coca-Cola iRacing NASCAR Cup Series.
That is funny as hell.
But
they literally just made a movie about that too. Well, not that specifically.
Yeah, Gran Turismo. Yeah. Dude, I used to be friends with a guy when I lived back in Tennessee after I got out of the Army. We actually sat down when Gran Turismo was out on the PS2. I think it was Gran Turismo 3. Anyway, so we did a full length, real time, 24 hours at the Nuremberg Ring. His wife was pissed at us.
I can imagine.
Because I had the steering wheel with the pedals.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it was a forceback steering wheel. We drove in shifts, and it was the second to last shift. I was going to drive the last shift. I started the race, and I was going to take the last shift. And we had, I don't know, like a 13-second lead when I handed up, I pulled the car into the pit. When I woke up, we were behind by 42 minutes. I was like, wow, dude. He's like, dude, I just keep trying to drive hard into these corners, and the tires just go away. And I'm like, I'm taking over early. Like, I drove an extra hour. And by the time I crossed the start-finish line, I had not only made up that deficit, I had actually increased our lead to like, I think it was like 6 minutes.
Nice.
And he's like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm like, and you say you're the one who can drive better. Get the fuck out of here. And his wife looked at us. I mean, because we started on a Friday night, and we drove all day Saturday and into Saturday night. And his wife looked at us. She's like, can I have my fucking TV back now?
No.
It was insane. Because, I mean, and the class that we were racing in, there was an American muscle class. We were driving a Chevelle.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And those things don't handle for shit.
No.
Right? So
they don't corner all that well.
No, they don't. It doesn't mean that I still don't want one. I mean, I'm a Ford guy, but my dream car is a 77 Chevelle with a 454. Right? I mean, just enough where you get like 6 gas stations to the mile.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you press the pedal and you can actually see the needle move.
Right. But next week in the NASCAR series, or the NASCAR Cup Series, it's the regular season finale, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona International Speedway, the world center for motor racing, the fastest track in the month of August. It's traditionally the race has always been run on the 4th of July up until a few years ago when NASCAR decided to juggle to jostle up the schedule. citing that, well, we have a better chance for better weather in the month of August. Well, guess what? You moved it from the 4th of July to peak hurricane season. That makes a lot of fucking sense. But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, so right now William Byron has 5 victories on the year. So what does that do for him in the point standings? Well, current playoff point standings, he's number 1. Martin Truex Jr. is number 2. Denny Hamlin is number 3. Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch round out the top 5. Current driver standings as it relates to the regular season, it's Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson rounding out the top 5. The reason why the playoff standings look different is because those are ranked by the number of wins and points accumulated by either stage wins or race wins over the course of the season to this point. Now, the winner of the person who is dubbed the regular season champion goes into the playoffs with an extra 15 bonus points. So Martin Truex Jr., he's got, he's got some, he's got, let me see here. Hold on. Let me go there. Okay. So right now, as it stands for the playoffs, he is, let me see. All right, so he is, if I'm reading this right, 76 points behind William Byron as it relates to seeding. If he can win at Daytona or score enough stage points at Daytona to secure the regular season championship, that's an extra 15 points going forward. And actually, no, I'm sorry, take that back. He is 1 point behind William Byron as the playoff points stand right now. I mean, William Byron's led a total of 876 laps this year, as opposed to Martin Truex Jr.'s 828. The next person closest to them is going to be Kyle Larson, who has led 624 laps. Chase Elliott, though, I'm not real confident that unless he wins next week at Daytona, he is going to miss the playoffs. Alex Bowman most likely is going to miss the playoffs. Alex Bowman's kind of had a shit year. He tweeted out this past, I think it was Tuesday, he had to put one of his dogs down.
Oh, shit.
That's rough. So, I mean, that's rough. And, yeah, talking about shit years. Last week we had that, or a couple weeks ago we had that conversation about Noah Gragson, and I said that he needs to go back to the Xfinity Series or possibly even the Truck Series. Well, wouldn't you know it? Lo and behold, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the Dale Jr. download this week basically said the same thing. Said I'd stay away from the Cup for a year. It's going to take a lot of work to get back in people's good graces. For what it's worth, the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
What it is. He said, go find you, he said, don't go into a second-rate team. Find you a good team with good equipment. Go out there, run the Cup Series or run the Truck Series, or go back and find a good ride in the Xfinity Series and get you some wins and really start to, show how good you really are.
Right.
I'm 100% behind that mantra. I really am. I mean, when Kyle Larson was suspended by NASCAR during the 2020 season for dropping the N-bomb on a e-racing simulcast or iRacing simulcast, he was indefinitely suspended and released by his race team, which at the time was Chip Ganassi Racing. So to make ends meet while he was trying to do what NASCAR required of him, he went back out there and raced dirt full time in his, outlaw sprint and, midget sprints, and won absolutely everything he entered. And he made more money off dirt circuits than he would have in Cup that year. That's how scary good Kyle Larson is.
Sometimes you just got to get back to your roots a little bit and kind of just,
because when he got reinstated, Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because before he even got reinstated, Rick Hendrick approached him and said, "Hey, look, if you get reinstated, I want to sign you to this car."
Right.
And he jumped into Hendrick Motorsport Equipment, went out there and won a championship. I'm just sitting there going, that is nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, he's away from the car for the better part of a year, and then he just jumps right back in it. And next thing you know, he's a champion.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how? Like, how the fuck did that happen? Because he got suspended in 2020, and that was the year that Chase Elliott won his championship. And then when Kyle Larson came back in 2021, he won the championship. And then, of course, Joey Logano and his little alopecia having ass won it last year. I really probably shouldn't say that. I mean, I dislike Joey Logano, but I'm not going to turn down an autographed diecast, so I probably shouldn't make jokes about his alopecia.
You don't want Will Smith coming at you.
Keep my hair out your fucking mouth. Keep my hairline's name out your fucking mouth. Oh, God. You know what's funny about that slap? I mean, even though Chris Rock said it hurt, he laughed. Like, he laughed. He was like, "Oh, wow." It's like,
I even made a joke about it.
yeah.
Like, in there, it's like,
till he looked over and saw that she wasn't laughing and she was looking at him.
Yeah.
And it was a problem.
I mean,
tickled a little bit.
A spade. I mean, if we're recasting all these roles for Disney live action movies, I think Jada Pinkett Smith should be the next Rapunzel.
They're actually talking about that.
That's not a joke.
Are they gonna CGI her hair?
That isn't a joke. They are fucking talking about making
long wig. Something that extended.
God, are you serious?
Like, they're gonna change the entire story around it, like they're doing with Snow White.
I don't know why they would change the.
If you're going to change anything from the original Disney format, you might as well rewrite these stories to the way that they were originally written.
Yes.
I mean,
dude, having a actual accurate, like a Grimm's fairy tale accurate telling of Snow White would be fucking amazing. Like all of these, a Little Mermaid, like an accurate Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
they'd all be rated R, but hell yeah, I would do it.
Gentlemen, as of tonight, we are 4 more races away.
Dude.
I'm not saying 5 races because the 5th race is our race. We are 4 races away.
Fuck yeah.
We're going to personally identify with every veteran that listens to this show when our countdown starts boiling down to so many days in a wake up.
Yes. I apologize to our civilians that will not understand that reference at first, but
we won't explain it to you either. You're going to have to go find a veteran friend and ask them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then while you're at it, ask them about the cattle cars and nut to butt. Make your buddy smile.
there was a meme. Actually, it was the cartoonist for Private Murphy. He actually drew out. So he did the and you guys are gonna. I don't know if David will necessarily, but Johnny, you're gonna laugh as soon as I say these. It was a picture of the Garrison cap, like the old school Garrison cap.
Piss cutter.
There was another name for it.
Oh, the cunt cap, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There was the funnel.
Okay.
You know what that was?
The donkey dick.
And then there was the jumper cables that we had for the vehicles.
Oh, the slave cable.
He literally just put those. He just put pictures of them there and posted it, and that was it. And just everybody was laughing their asses off at it.
Yeah.
For that reason,
we had.
That is how I've only ever known.
My first section leader in the Army, Staff Sergeant Williams, was black. And I'll never forget it. The first time we had to jump a truck off in the field that I had been there for, somebody was like, "We need the slave cable." And he's like, "Well, I guess I'll go get it." And dude, I straight fell the fuck out. I was laughing so hard. And he looked at me. Now, bear in mind, all right, Stas Sergeant Williams, we called him Guy Smiley. He was the whitest black dude. Like, he listened to heavy metal and he drove a lifted red Chevy Silverado.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And he was like, I can't, and he legitimately said this. He said, I can't listen to music when I'm driving because then I'm thinking that I'm in red heat. And for those of you who don't know what that means, there's a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger is driving a Greyhound bus through a fucking mall.
Yep.
And we looked at him, we were like, what? And he let a couple of the lower enlisted guys borrow his truck one night. He's like, we're gonna go redneck and can we borrow your truck? You go with us. And he's like, I'm not going with you, but don't put a scratch on my truck. I'll kill you. And like, his nickname was even written in Sharpie inside the vehicle, right? Guy Smiley, right there above the window or the windshield on his side, right?
Yeah.
But the fucking truck died, and he's like, somebody go get some slave cables, and he just, without missing a beat, he's like, I'll go get them. I just fell. Dude, I was laughing my ass off as he looked over at me. He's like, "The fuck are you laughing at?" I was just like, you know. I mean, I'm barely 18 years old. Whatever, you know. I'm just out of basic and airborne school. I'm from Texas, dude. I'm sitting there going, "Not a goddamn thing funny, sorry." Nope.
You see,
Nope.
There was that one TikTok too where they were they're like, what is the military humor like? And it showed a guy that was doing push-ups, and it says, what don't we tolerate in the army?
Racism. Why not? Because they're people now.
Laughing at that.
It's almost as bad as when I go to work and I talk to someone that's like, "Oh, I got a dark humor." All right. And he's like, "Oh, tell me one of your dark humor jokes." He's like, "I can't do that here, sir."
There's levels.
Yeah.
Wait till we're off the clock and then come find me.
Right. It's like you have to prepare yourself with a series of ever expanding plugs before I fuck you like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm lucky.
I literally,
the guys in like everybody in my department, all four of us we're all literally veterans. So we could say shit like,
there's already court documents what y'all say. I'm just gonna put it out there.
That's not even from our meeting either.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, we doing worse, man.
I mean, you got, it's like,
that's true. I forgot about that.
you know, it's sitting there. You're sitting there going,
Evan.
like, you're sitting there going, I like my workplace because we've got dark humor. And then it's like, you're sitting there going, your humor's not dark. Well, what's your definition of humor? Like, really? Really?
It's like,
this is how dark my humor is.
It's like my slow learned test of judging a person's dark humor. Like, how dark is your humor? Because mine's pretty dark. I was like, all right, ask me how I slept last night. I'm like, okay, how'd you sleep? Just like God through the Holocaust. Oh,
right. Yeah. Oh, I saw. Okay, there was a TikTok out there. I saw it this weekend. There was this boot with the beret. He's got the flash with no unit crest on it. He's like, the beret's not given away. You have to earn this, right? And I'm just sitting there,
Really?
I'm like,
Really?
I'm looking at the comments, dude. And the comments are like, can somebody come get their boot? You know, like one dude goes, talk to me about your beret after you pass Q course. You know, like
That one hurt.
yeah, you know,
It's like, actually, it is
because I
actually
remember when the black beret meant something, right?
right back
It
when
was
it
the
was
Rangers.
Ranger Beret.
Right. I mean, I was going through airborne school.
Did
And
they back?
no,
No.
they stuck with the sand color, the tan beret.
Yeah,
But
shit, Tam.
like I went, you know, outside Fort Benning, Georgia. Chris, I know you know this store, Ranger Joe's.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, Ranger Joe.
Joe's.
So you know, we're a bunch of like wet behind the ears basic training, you know, graduates.
Yep.
Going through airborne school, and it's during jump week. So I mean, we go out to Ranger Joe's to get a haircut the weekend before, and to buy our berets, right?
Yeah.
And we're walking outside, and we're just like, oh man, we got to shave these, and we got to shape them, and you know, got to get the flash zone on, and then here comes a pickup truck full of Rangers, like from the bat, right? Oh, they got all their black berets on, their uniforms are all faded, and you know, like, you know, but your basic training, you see faded BDUs, you're like, oh,
Oh yeah.
they've
like
done shit, and their name tapes are embroidered, right?
Angels from heaven. You hear the heavenly choir. Oh,
Oh, yeah, you know, and so I mean, they get out of the truck and they're looking at us and they're like, going to jump school? Like, yeah, fucking get lost. And they turn around and just walk aside. we're like, oh shit, you know. And I had bought a pair of the old school Oakley frog skins, right?
oh no.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you know, and
those were the
I
shit.
don't know my ass from a hole in the ground.
Right.
We're out process. We've graduated airborne school. We're doing our out processing, and they're releasing us the next day.
Yeah.
And me and my buddies are walking around. We got our jump wings on. You know, we're like in all fucking high speed, low drag. Got the berets on, right? And yeah. No, we had our soft caps on. We didn't have our berets on. We had our soft caps on. And got our, you know, our boots are all polished. Don't have the jump boots yet. I didn't want to jinx myself by buying jump boots before I graduated airborne school, right? So, but I go out and buy the beret.
It's a lot cheaper.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was like $20 versus the $100, which still, that you think for inflation, it still works out, right? Anyway, so all the guys from the RTB, the Ranger Training Brigade, had come down, and they're picking up the guys with the Ranger contracts, right? And you see these 2 deuce and a halves. They're not there for the RIP contract guys to ride in. That's for their shit to ride in. They're running alongside those trucks all the way to RTB.
Yep.
And I'm 45 years old, y'all. And when I think about the towering presence of this E6 Ranger standing there on the school grounds, just surveying the land, I still get chills, right? I'm still intimidated, right? We're walking around thinking we a hot shit, right? Like, we just got these jump wings on, shit. You know, we're doing the whole Bill Cosby, Red Fox, you know,
Yep.
Pop. And we pass by him, and he's standing there like this, right? He goes, "Hey, Peachtree." We're like, he called us fucking Peachtree, and we just snapped, parade rest, and we looked at him and, "Yes, Ranger," and he goes, "Oh, I'm very impressed that you knew how to fucking address me. I got a question for you. Those sunglasses regulation?" And without even answering, I just pulled them off my face. I said, "I don't know, Ranger." And he goes, "Well, I got a flash for you. They're not." And he said this verbatim. It's burned in my brain for the rest of my life. I'm going to lay on my deathbed thinking about this. This dude looks at us and he goes, I catch those sunglasses on your face again, I'm going to shove them so far up your ass that your nostrils are going to be shaded from the sun. I made myself clear. Full Ranger. And he goes, I move the fuck out. Right. We just puff of smoke. Right. I went over to the to the entrance to the company. I did my 10 push-ups to the wings. I called my dad over. I was like, come here. He goes, fuck was that? I said, just take these and put them in the car. What the fuck was that? I'll tell you later. And I did my turnaround, did my 10 push-ups back to the wind, and I walked back onto the company ground. And I walked by, and I'm not making eye contact. I just see him out of my peripheral vision. And you just see him walk, and he's just standing there like this. He's like, that black beret, dude.
Good
I mean,
answer.
he had the 82nd beret thing going on, right? Where he was straight up like this,
Right.
I mean, it was pointed over, and he was just straight up, couldn't see out of his right fucking eye for shit.
Yeah.
But yet, homeboy had God level omnipotence. I mean, he was just sitting there, just shaking his head in approval, like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I was single-handedly at that point more scared of that E6 Ranger. I don't even know his name. I didn't think to look at his name tape. I just knew he had a black beret on, and that scared me.
Yep.
Right? Because he had the green jungle boots on. We had the ripple sole, and his uniform was starched, boy.
Probably standing up by itself.
All I know is that he was in E6. And I'm like, yes, Ranger. Dude, I was not that scared on day one of downrange basic training.
Mm-hmm.
Back when we had the shark attack, I wasn't that scared.
Oh,
that dude scared me. Right? And then we get dismissed. I'm getting in the car. I'm sitting in the back with my girlfriend and my parents. And my dad's like, what the hell was that all about? So I told him. He was like, they're against regulations. I was like, apparently.
They are now.
Right? And he goes, so, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to buy a cheap pair of sunglasses that are regulation. He's like, what are you going to do with these? I'm going to wear them in my civilian clothes. Because at the time, I paid $60 for those at the Sand Hill PX. That's like $200 now for a pair of flak jackets, right?
Oh, yeah.
But they were the old school frog skins with like the polarized lenses. Oh, dude, they were hot.
Oh, yeah.
They were hot. And I'm just like,
it's just any of the uniforms now, they just don't. They don't have that presence anymore. The old school BDUs with those mirror shined boots, man, it was a whole different kind of presence that you commanded.
Yeah. I mean, when you walk in with a brand new pair, a freshly resold pair of jungle boots, dude, and you're like, I'm going to wear these around because we got a road march coming up in a week. I'm going to smoke all y'all's asses.
Right?
I got the ripple sole.
Nothing like it, man.
Dude, you put that, you go over across the street to Main Post, you have Mama San resole your boots with them ripple soles. You were like Superman, bro. You're like 13 miles on gravel road.
Dude, I miss those boots, man.
I still, I've got a pair at my dad's house up there in Wichita.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm gonna have to get them the first weekend of September because I left them up there this past weekend. But yeah, I'm gonna get them, dude. And you remember how we used to do it? Like you go in and you cut the insole out and you pull the steel shank out.
Yeah.
So that way your feet don't cook when you're, in the motor pool.
Yeah.
Man, maintenance.
Slice a little bit.
Oh, bro. Because I used to have a pair of the green ones too. And then they were like, okay, the green ones are now phased out effective October, what was it, 98, right? Or no, 97. 1 October 97. You can no longer wear the green jungle boots. Yeah, October 1, 97, you could no longer wear the green jungle boots. So you saw some old timer NCOs that just did not give a fuck
I had a couple of sets of sergeants that wore those jungle boots. They didn't give a shit. Especially we're out in the field, they were fucking wearing jungle boots.
Yeah. You know, and we had one
This
sergeant
would be
major,
like
dude. He
99.
was like, you know, we had, you know, you had the Cochrane 2s, you know, you had the good jump boots, right? And then you had the regular jump boots. There was guys going out there buying Cochrane 2s to wear to the field, right? And then you guys that were wearing their Cook Whites, basically they're really faded ass. Not a slight against you, David, but like the faded BDUs, right? We called them Cook Whites.
Yep.
They wore their Cook Whites out to the field. Sergeant Major comes through. Command Sergeant Major West. He eventually left No Slack and became the Ranger Training Brigade Sergeant Major, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you could hear him. I think it was like Alpha or Bravo Company. He was yelling at, and like you could hear him from across the PZ. What the fuck is this? Like, what are you talking about, Sergeant Major? He's like, wearing some goddamn Cook Whites out in the field. What the fuck? These are field uniforms, Sergeant Major. No, that's bullshit. And come to find out, one of the guys that he was yelling at graduated from Ranger School. He goes, "What's the fourth stanza of your Ranger Creed?" That's bullshit.
Oh,
Like, oh shit.
no.
Like,
No.
like, we had one guy. Oh shit, Sergeant Merrill. Sergeant E5 Merrill. He went to Ranger School as an E4, came back because back in the day, if you went to Ranger School, when you came back, you were automatically pinned your 5. Right. Like that's the way it used to be. You go to Ranger School, you come back, you get your 5. And because I mean, you had to be like an E4P before you went to Ranger School to begin with.
Well, it's considered a leadership school, so.
Well, yeah. But so he comes back, and the first day that we're back, or that he's back, we have payday activities. So we've got Class A inspections. Did he shine his jump boots? No. You remember the Insta Shine shit that you had to like bake on?
Yeah.
It always looked like trash too. Like you
Dude, you take one step and it cracks, right?
Yes, you could hear it crackle.
He Insta shined the fuck out of his boots.
Oh fuck.
Right? We're standing there. He's got his cord. He's got his brand new Ranger tab on. He's got his fruit salad going. He's got his boots bloused. You know, the sun's reflecting off of everybody's toes. His look like a fucking solar farm. Sergeant Major's walking up and down the line. He walks past Sergeant Merrill. He stops. Like 2 soldiers down, he stops, like dead, mid-stride, and backs up. He does not turn around. He straight throws it in reverse, and he just walks backwards. Stops in front of Sergeant Merrill, conducts a left face, and then does this thing. He goes, Sergeant Merrill, where does the kiwi bird reside? Say again, Sergeant Major. Where does the kiwi bird reside? I got a hint for you. Apparently not in your fucking wall locker. That is some bullshit Insta-Shine cheating shit. I see that you got a brand new sewn-on Ranger tab on that uniform. What is the second stanza of your Ranger Creed? And like he hesitated for about that long. And he was like, that's bullshit, Ranger. That's unfucking stat. And he takes his boot. He put ripple soles on his jump boots. Right? The Sergeant Major did.
Yeah.
And he sits there and just scrapes his foot.
Oh no.
Both toes. And he was like, I want you, your platoon sergeant, and your platoon leader in my office Saturday morning at 1200 hours to present a properly shined pair of jump boots. And you better know all 5 stanzas of your Ranger Creed.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'd rather shit barbed wire than have to go back.
He's like, you better know that Ranger Creed forward and backwards.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Right. And he's like, Sergeant Major? He goes,
It's like
did I stutter, Ranger? Did I stutter, Sergeant Merrill? Don't make me bust you, the fucking specialist. You just got pinned at 5. He's like, Roger that, Sergeant Major. As soon as Sergeant Major left,
Just give me
dude, his platoon sergeant looked at him. He's like, Merrill, the fuck over, right? His platoon leader goes, I got to come in on a Saturday for you, Ranger? Nah.
God.
He tries to go talk to the battalion XO about it. Battalion XO's like, well, let me go talk to Sergeant Major, see what I can do. Comes back in his office and goes, yeah, you've got to be there. No, I got to be there too.
Fucking hell!
Damn, I got.
You hear the colonel. You hear the lieutenant commander, Lieutenant Colonel Parker. He goes, "Get him, wild man."
Sir, you want to get in on this?
No, because Colonel knew better. Colonel absolutely
my ass in there too.
he's like, yeah, you got to be there. No, I got to be there too. Because
oh my god, that's fucking amazing.
Because I had staff duty that Friday, and so when I got to hear that conversation, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, dude, I'm sitting over there. It's me, my other runner, and the NCO at the time. I forget who it was. We just start dying, dude. I think it was Sergeant. Yeah, I think it was Sergeant Russo. I can't remember, but we were just like, dude, we were dying inside because we're trying to hold it in. As soon as the lieutenant left, started laughing. 1st Battalion is right across the way from us, and they're looking at us like we've lost our mind. We looked it over because 1st Battalion, their mascot is the bulldog, right? So they legitimately had Bastogne. It was Bastogne the bulldog, right?
Yeah.
And he lived on battalion grounds, like his house, like he stayed in battalion headquarters.
Yeah. And
we're like, well, fucking worry about the hell we're doing. You stay over there and watch your dog and make sure he doesn't fucking escape again, right? Like, no shit, this dog had a counseling packet that fucking thick, dude. His signature on his counseling packets were paw prints. He had held every enlisted rank from sergeant major all the way down to private.
That is amazing.
He was a Sergeant E5 Bastogne, and we sort of aided him in an escape one night. And they found him in post housing boning some lieutenant's dog in the back.
Oh yes. Oh hell yes. Tell me the guidon was right there too.
Oh, we didn't fuck with the guidons, right? Because I mean, we're like,
we would fuck with guidons all the time.
Well, see, because
didn't have any bulldogs around to fucking steal either, though. All we could steal were the guidons.
All right, so you know what? Okay, we're 2 hours and 17 minutes and into it. So guess what I'm about to do? I'm going to bring Colin in because he's gonna try to do this real quick. So let me. All right, dude, come on.
That's good because the jokes I had found probably would have gotten us canceled.
Dude, the jokes I found would have gotten us arrested.
Well, you saw the one I sent.
Yes. and they were on par. They were on par with that.
My jokes are pretty much war crime.
It's only a war crime if you get caught the second time.
Exactly. No, it's only a war crime if you lose.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. It's only a war crime if you lose.
Exactly.
Come on, Colin. Come on. Clicky the linky. Is he backstage yet, David?
Oh shit. I forgot to look at that.
No,
well, I have it.
There he is.
What's up, guy? All right. So you'll look. Hey, Colin, fix your hair for him real quick. Show him the nice little do that I gave you for the week.
There you go.
Yeah, see, look at that nice little fade on the side.
White walls right there. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. So, from the soggy remains of the La Brea tar pits and the public pool formerly known as Dodger Stadium, comes the Ronin of comedy, the master of immorality, and the Riddler that brings into question everything that you thought to be true. I bring to you my genetic code for your ears and now your eyes, to feast upon, to be left rode hard and put away wet. I give to you this week's installment of Joke Time with Colin.
Hey, the Red Sox are beating the Astros right now.
We had gotten caught up on other conversation. That's not the joke. Hush yourself, Chris. Fucking beat your face, dude.
Love you, man.
So on the way to school, I saw a kid with, like rags and dirty clothes. So I walk up to him and say, "Hey, are you an orphan?" He says, "Yeah, what gave it away?" I said, "Your parents."
Nice. Solid beginning.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Is that the only one you've got this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. He started and finished strong, everybody. Good. Oh, wow. Your parents.
Oh shit! Oh wait, what? Did David get the time right?
No, he didn't. I didn't do the outro yet.
That's, I'm trying to give him some kind of credit. I'm trying to acknowledge that at least he tried a little bit.
I mean, he got his props for giving us proper articles at the beginning of the show.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I'll give him
And they were relevant and they were recent.
that. Yeah,
Timely. It would be timely. Yeah.
The timestamp and yeah. Okay. And he kept quiet while we talked about Army stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good for him. Okay.
I had my I had my first after school baseball thing today, so
Oh,
Nice. Okay. That's what it's about. Dilly.
it was too hot outside.
Oh.
Well, we are on a tropical depression advice or warning for tonight and tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
It has stages?
Oof.
Yes, David, much like the depression that most of your sexual partners go through.
That's understandable.
Nice. Solid. A little close to the knife there. That was hell yeah. just the look of defeat right there just warms the cockles of my heart.
So much like the additional problem of hurricanes added to the list of worries that Southern Californians have, in addition to earthquakes, landslides, and wildfires, you too now have an additional thing to worry about. When you see somebody standing on the side of the road wearing rags, you question yourself. Are they or aren't they an orphan? When you feel bad about yourself, think back. This moment in time, when the Ronin, my genetic code, brought forth and enabled the debauchery of your soul. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, I present to you this week's edition of Joke Time with Colin.
Oh shit! Oh
Not only did David come in with the redemption tour, he played the full sound this time. Congratulations, David.
I was hoping you'd forget by the time that it was done.
He was ready for it and everything.
Yeah.
Well, bud, I better late than never. We're only 2 hours and 23 minutes into the show this week.
This is gonna be a marathon. Listen for our faithful listeners.
Look, the same people that listen to us probably make fun of Joe Rogan, so I don't want to hear a fucking thing.
Actually, whoever is murder, death, kill on YouTube, thank you. I mean, constantly commenting. I don't know who it is, but
Murder, Death, Kill. You know what?
Appreciate it.
Murder, Death, Kill. I invite you to reach out. angrymeproduction at gmail.com and give us your contact info. We would love to have you on the show.
I was gonna say that he could be our very first inductee to the BTS segment.
oh yeah,
Yeah, the BTS segment. Yeah, we could invite you backstage after the show is concluded. So, yeah, that way you get an out of context preview of what you're going to have to listen to later in the evening.
There you go.
And because ill timing is kind of our thing, we wouldn't have it any other way.
this is true.
Absolutely.
Colin, Bud, I will give you guys a call later this week. Probably tomorrow if it starts raining like cats and dogs down here. But give your brother a hug for me. You guys have a good day in school tomorrow. I love you both.
All right, love you.
Later.
Later.
There you go.
There we go.
We can finally land this plane.
It is after the first inning. It is 3-1 Boston.
Well, that's good.
Still plenty of baseball left.
Still plenty of baseball left.
Anyways,
All
thank
I
you.
know, if the Red Sox do end up losing this series or any of the games here, period, I will have to hear about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. From all.
Every family member down here.
That's
Yeah. You see the Astros beat up on your Red Sox?
No, actually, I
Kind of
didn't.
like the Mariners beat up on your Astros the last weekend. I could use that.
Did that hurt?
Like,
Bring up the Rangers. I'll shut them up.
yeah. Like, how's it feel to finally finish with your face in the ass of the Rangers?
It actually feels amazing, to be honest with you.
Right. It's like when we finally won our division after, even though we won the World Series in 2004, we finished in the wild card spot behind the Yankees in the division.
It's a bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah, not as bitter of a pill as New York fans are having to swallow this weekend after realizing that their team is now 4 games under 500. And this is the worst record that the Yankees have had this late in the season since 1995.
Damn.
They're due.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm David Dickerman,
I'm, as always, Johnny Skelton.
And I am Chris Jacka.
and this is Nerd Sports, episode 122.
Yes, if you're keeping score at home, he almost screwed that one up too. Have a nice night.
Yeah, thanks for calling me out on that one. Later, guys.
I mean, if they can't hear the stutter, I mean, it's up to them.
Later on, dudes.
Peace out.